Hi, this is Linda Helgeson with Sweet Aria Decor. Today I'm going to show you something super quick, super easy, something that's not intimidating. It is going to be a Halloween door hanger. Very inexpensive. You can actually use a lot of your scrap materials. This is great for that. If you're a crafter and you've got a couple extra ribbon tails, a couple extra pieces of mesh laying around. So what we have here is this is a door hanger with little, hear that? Little jingle bells. This came from Dollar Tree and it's really cute, but it looks kind of a little naked. We can zhuzh this up a little bit. I think we can do a little bit better. So we're going to take this today. We're going to add some ruffles with some 10-inch mesh. You don't have to do that, but it might give it some background to kind of have the bow push against. And then here I've got a different assortment of black and lime green ribbons. I'm trying to figure out exactly which ones we're going to use. It needs to speak to me. It needs to like connect with me on a spiritual level and tell me which ribbons feel like they need to belong to this piece. And then I've got a couple black zip ties here as well. We're going to use that to kind of hold the bow together and also to attach it onto our wreath hanger when we're done. So I'm going to start by taking off the little paper. And I think also we're going to take off this bow. I may reuse it, so I'm going to take it off gently. It's just on there with some hot glue. It comes off very easily. All right, and then I'm going to snip it here so it doesn't start unattaching the rest of this roping that's on here. But you can see I still have the bow, and we may use this at the end because it's all about reusing materials that you have. We don't want to waste anything because we've only got one earth. Let's try to keep it clean. So, all right, what I'm going to do first is, I think as the base for this, we're going to put some mesh poofs in there, but I want to make the bow first because then that way I'll know kind of how big, how wide I want to make it. I don't want to go any wider than the 10 inches here that's on this ruffle. So I'm going to bring out my Easy Bow Maker. You've seen this before on my lives. This is my favorite ribbon making tool. I am still trying to master how to do these by hand, but yeah, that's going to take me a while. I've got a bad finger too that doesn't really bend well, so I'm just going to rely on my tool. So looking at the ribbons that we have, for the base one, you don't want to use a floppy ribbon, right? You want to use something that's going to stand up, be a bit more firm. And I think the one I want to use down here is this ribbon. Let me take out the pin. It's a canvas ribbon, but it has a glitter squiggle to it. And I think that'll go really nice as the base against this mesh. So I'm going to start by doing that. I don't want super long ribbon tails on this because you can see this dangles down from here. We're talking about an 8-inch dangle. I'm going to make my tails initially a little bit longer because I can always trim them to size, but I can't make them longer later. So I'm going to start, I'll probably pull it out maybe about a 10-inch. So I got 10 inches here. And then I'm going to twist my ribbon in the middle. So you can see it should look like this. It's pinched and it's twisted. So your ends with your wire in them are on the outsides. And it's a nice firm twist. That makes your bows pop up. And you got little poppy loops that look happy and springy and excited to be hanging on your door. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in down here and make my loop. I don't want to go too big. 6 inches I think is too big. I think if I do 5 inches, that'll be kind of centered on this. And then once you fluff them up, plus you'll have this behind it, so it'll kind of layer like that. I'm not going to do too large of a ribbon either. I don't think we need to do too many loops. Okay, make that one 5 inches as well. And I'm going to come out probably about to 10 inches on that. Okay, it's about the same. So right now I have just 2 loops. And then these tails are going to hang down. You can see they're going to hang down like that. But I want to give it some height here toward the back. So I'm going to put some more of these in here, but I'm going to do these a little bit shorter. I'm going to dovetail it. Okay, and then you open it up. Oh, so pretty. I want these to kind of pop up sort of toward the top, give it some height. So I'm going to bring these out to about 6 inches before I do my little twist. I'm going to make another 5-inch ribbon loop to kind of match that. Do my twist. Another 5 inches. I am going to make a 3rd loop before I come back out because I'm going to want one of these loops to come up toward the middle. So you can kind of see what it'll look like. Let me cut this end off. And you can see what that will all look like then. Okay, get that out of the way. So it looks like this, and you've got your little top loop here. I kind of want it to have a bit more of a rounded top to it. So we can have one of these up, come on up here, and another one of these coming down here. Okay, so what should we do next? Well, I do have, just going to throw this in there. This is a spare ribbon tail. I've already cut it. It was left over from another project, but it would look cute just to go in here and just to kind of poke out. It adds some dimension, and it'll help add it up to the top. I don't need to have a full loop with it, just a little taste of a bunch of different kinds of ribbon. So now I've put that in there. I think what I would like to go with next is going to be this. This is it's a woven fabric. It's a little bit thinner. You can see it's a little floppier, so that's why I want it at the 2nd or 3rd level. And I'm going to snip my end again. Oop, I went the wrong way. I always do that. Okay, so I'm going to go that way. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Is it Friday yet? So I'm going to push this tail in, and the ends of this are kind of aligning with the ends of this bow because this is going to come in smaller. Every time you come in with a new ribbon, it's going to come in a little bit smaller. That'll help you build toward the center. You don't want anything to be buried. If I came out at 5 inches here, well, it'd be kind of buried, right? You really wouldn't see the one behind it. So I'm going to come in a little bit less, maybe like a 4.5. Okay, and I'm going to put in, I would say, this is probably sufficient. And then I'm going to show you a trick at the end as well. Remind me about the trick. Okay, and I'm going to cut my little end in the correct direction this time. All right, and you can see that we've got this layer, which is cute. I like the black. It reminds me of the Wicked Witch of the West. All right, got this coming in. Ouch. Oh, I just scratched my new tattoo. Ooh, 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 sting, sting. All right. Now, it's got a lot of black, got a lot of green. I want to lighten it up just a little bit. I'm going to use this super, super cute. You can see these little kitty cats with the green eyes, and their eyes are all glittery. I have been wanting to use this ribbon for like 2 years. So I'm very happy I get to use it today. So I'm going to make another little bows. Now this one I'm going to bring down, have some tails to it. So I like to dovetail mine to start with because sometimes I'll forget to dovetail them afterwards. And then I finish the product and I look at it and I take my pictures and then I'm like, oh, Linda, you didn't cut the tails. So this one I'm going to come down. I'm going to start it here. I'm going to snip these tails. I want to see where the true end of these tails lies. All right. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to come in. I want to leave about maybe 2 inches or so until the next layer. So then I'm going to put that in here. And here's where we're going to start our next twist. So you can see now that I've got the pattern out. And when I twist it, then the back side of the ribbon is facing me, which is what you want. Because when you come over the top, then the pattern lays on the top. So I'm going to make a couple of bows. That looks, I think on the loops, this looks at about 4 inches. I don't want to make it too tall. Yeah, it is going to squish down a bit once I put the zip tie on it. Okay. go down to roughly there. And I'll see how close I get this. Sometimes you don't want to do your dovetails till later because, as you can see, that top loop started coming out of the top of here. We don't want that. Linda needs to pay better attention. All right, we've got that. Cute little kitty cat bows. Now we're going to come in. The last layer is going to be thinner. I like to always finish it off with a 1.5 inch ribbon. Okay, meow meow, go there. This is the 1.5 inch that I like to use. I love polka dots. Plus, I think the round of the polka dot kind of mimics the round of the bell, so that's why I like to end with that. I'm going to dovetail my end. Snoopy. Okay. Come in here. And then I'm going to start right here. Flip it over. And these are going to be, I think, about 3.5 inches. I don't want it to be too tight because I want these loops to kind of come upward and have some height to them. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the center one, I'm going to turn this over. The center loop might be just a little bit smaller. Okay. I'm going to snip the end. Give it a quick dovetail. And there we go. So this completes the actual ribbon portion. And I'm going to show you a neat trick that I sometimes use. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, just hanging around. I'm going to bend it in half, make a little horseshoe shape out of it. See that? I'm going to pick up my bow, hold it nice in my hand, wrap that pipe cleaner around it, make sure I get a good hold on there. All right, and then I can start kind of twisting it in place. Before I get it too tight though, I want to take a look and show you my little trick. So, oh no, I forgot one of my loops. Hold on. One of my loops escaped. Come back, come back. And now I can't see very well. My eyes, my eyes. There we go. There you go, little loopy. You thought you were going to get away from me. Ha ha ha. Not happening. Nope, little loopy. I gotcha. Okay. So we have our ends on the ribbon. Go down this way. Oops, here we go. I was a little concerned. Actually, I got it upside down. I should be concerned. You're upside down, Linda. Stop. No wonder you're all confused and crazed. Sorry. It's been a day. I'm going to fluff the tops later, but right now I'm just concerned about the tails. So these tails came down kind of about here. Put it on here. I feel like I want another set of tails, right? But I've already made my ribbon. What I can do is take this pattern, figure out how long I want the tail to be. So I'm going to kind of measure, okay, about there, come around, there. Very scientific way of doing this, I know. So I've got a strip that's probably about 25 inches. I'm going to snip it. I bring my two ends together, right? Line them up, fold them over so that the wire side is down here. And I'm going to cut from the inside, angled toward the outside. And I get my nice dovetail. So then I have an extra tail. I'm going to pinch this in the middle to find where the middle point is. Okay, so here's our middle point. Grab it, pinch it. I'm going to flip my ribbon over. Open up the twisty. This is why I did not zip tie it yet. I don't like to zip tie anything until I am 100% sure that that is exactly what I want it to look like. You can always zip or snip off your zip tie, but then you do run the risk of accidentally getting some of your fabric in there, which I've done before. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. Okay. I'm going to make sure I put it pattern side down. and I just tuck it in there. Okay, does that look all right? See, now we have some additional length added. I like that. Okay, hold, twist. Now I'm gonna rotate this and twist it. I want to tighten it up here, not so much back here, you know, the back parts of it, but the tighter that I can make this, the fluffier the bows will get. So I'm going to fluff out my bow. Make sure I've got all of the bottom parts. I'm going to start down here. Here's my tails. Pull this down. Pull this down so I got the tails. Now I can work on fluffing it up here. So I did want this back here to be my center loop. I've got some extra little striped ribbon that I did some tails on. Fluff out what I've got. Fluff it. Pull up, bring up the little kitty ribbon. Make sure I pull that tail up there as well. I think I want to make sure I got a bow here. You don't want to have too many tails overlapping each other, right? It's got to be, you know, try to go for loop, tail, putting like that. But I'm going to fluff this out a little bit. Do. Okay, and this one I'm going to hang down toward the center because there's nothing really there. And I don't want to see, do you see where these all come together? Sometimes you can have a loop down there, but I don't want it to be sticking out too much because it's going to have a door hanger behind it. So you can see. Okay. Here we go with all of our loopsies. So this is what our bow looks like. Okay? What I'm going to do then is flip it around. I don't need all these extra little pieces back there, so I'm just going to snip that off. Then I'm going to try to find, I think I just used that zip tie and something else, did I? No, I did. Okay, here we go. There, I just got hot glue on it. Ew, it's got glue. Ugh. Feels like snot. Okay, so then we have our hanger, and we have our bow. I'm going to take the zip tie. I'm going to run it just along the lines of exactly where the where that pipe cleaner was. And kind of come around, and kind of hold both ends, so I get a feeling for this is my bow, this is the size, this is the style. I don't know yet if I want it on the bottom or if I want to hang it on the top. If I hang it on the top, my concern is that it'll start going side to side, do a little shifty business. I don't think we want that. But if I put it down at the bottom, oh, well, then these things might start blending in. So I think, no, I won't. I'm going to put this at the bottom because there's a lot of imperfections down at the bottom. So I'm going to put the zip tie around here. I lost the bottom. Everything is black and it's hard to see, especially when you don't have good vision anymore. Where did it go? Hold, please. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to put this around the bottom. So I'm going to put the zip tie in there. And this is really easy then. You just zip it right on there. Boom, boom, boom. There's just something satisfying about the feeling of like pulling a zip tie. Just, you hear it click, 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 and it feels so good. Okay, so then we hold it up. You can see here we have our cute little bow with our little jingle bells added to it. So if you hang this on the front of a door, inside or outside, just remember if you're using some of these materials like the glitter ribbon, if you're going to use it outside, you probably want to put some spray sealant on there because this glitter will start coming off with the elements and the weather. It could start fading. Anything will fade in the sun, but using a sealant might help it not fade quite as quickly because we don't want to do all this work and then have it fade. But then again, sometimes you do it, it looks great, and then you just do another project for next Halloween, right? putting the decorative mesh on the back. Forgot about the deco mesh. So I've already put one on. I'll show you what I did. You should never craft when you're hungry. All I'm thinking about is lunch. So I have cut, this is 10-inch mesh. I've kind of cut this ruffle, it's about 16 inches, right? So I'm going to take the ends, I'm going to curl the ends in, right? So they're kind of tucked. Do a better job there. Here we go. And then I'm going to kind of ruffle it in. So I've got this ruffle created, right? Then I'm going to take a zip tie. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to run the zip tie through the back. And then I'm just going to zip tie this mesh ruffle to the back of the hanger. Now, so far, I've got one on there from before. I'm putting another one on now. And I'm debating whether or not I would need a third. So, I'm going to snap that on there. I don't think I'll need a third. There we go. I think 2 is just fine. That leaves you a bit of a space back here to hang it. But you can see the ruffles coming through. You can spread them out in the back. Spread it out so it kind of covers as much area as possible. There you go. Now we've got a finished door hanger. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this today. I hope you enjoyed decorating for Halloween. It is that time of year. Don't wait too long to go out and start getting your Halloween supplies, because I've been out there and they're already sold out of a lot of things because everyone's getting a jump start on decorating. So if you like this tutorial, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook. I also have a TikTok, all under the heading of Sweet Ari Decor. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!